guys, it's me, Meteor. Here we are back to Super Mario 3D World. We're going to be talking off and starting off World 3, well, starting off again, I guess, and doing Captain Toad over here. He looks like he's on an adventure, running for excitement. Captain Toad makes a splash. Alright, let me go grab the gamepad. Thankfully, it's next to me, so there you go. Need to play this single. Okay. I don't want to be, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Fine. I'll be Luigi controlling Captain Toad, I guess. It's a little underwater level. Interesting. You could, of course, move it around like you could always normally. Now, one thing you'll notice with the new Captain Toad game, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, this whole grid system like this is gone. It's no longer there anymore. They actually replaced it with actual full solid textures, which is nice. I like the fact they actually did that, because it shows that it's more of like has more of a budget game than just this. Although, to be fair, this was awesome enough and in so middle minigame, in my personal opinion, to actually warrant a full game purchase, and that's why I got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and loved it immensely. That's why. Why am I explaining this? Why do I have to? Because I can. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Unless you could, well actually yeah, there is something you can do to stop me. Just stop watching the video. I would not recommend that, by the way. I would not recommend you stop watching the video. But that is a legitimate way to get me to stop talking about it. Well, technically I'd still be talking about it. I just wanted to hear me talking about it. Interesting viewpoint on things. Anyways, you can tell it's pretty straightforward, literally, figuratively, kind of. I guess depends on your definition of straightforward. And now that little star we couldn't reach before is now risen up in water to actually grab for us. Neat. And now we have to go in here and go back around again. Watch out for that little hammerhead thing, though. Because, now that's another thing with these levels here in 3D World. There's only like one real hazard in the level, and you have to avoid that one hazard. But that's basically it. In Treasure Tracker, there are a lot more hazards. Anyway, that's the 5th green star right there. And we are done. Yeah! Can I get rid of Luigi now? Yeah, 62 stars. Yep, there we go. Alright. That actually... Okay, I don't want to play that again. But anyway, let's go in here again. And now we can venture off and start the platforming for real. Hooray! We did the Boo House. We did this. Now, in this stage here, there is another character stamp. Or another character switch. So, we get to see another character besides Toad in the gameplay to use. Who's it going to be? This time, it's going to be little Peach herself. Quick! You only have 100 seconds! Make them count! First green star, right there, very beginning. Very easy to miss. I missed it several times trying to look for it. But either way, Peach could float. Simply put, she is pretty much the easy mode of this game, enough said. However, trying to capture this thing is going to be annoying, I'm sure. Nope, still relatively easy. Because I think it's actually based on, I think it's actually changes the speed based on the character. Yay, look at this floating stuff I'm doing. There's our stamp. Look at all this floating I'm doing. Isn't that nice? Of course, it makes it super simplistic. Ow. And then once you run... There we go. Quickly, Peach! There's not much time! Well, there's plenty of time, because you now have the plus 10-second things. But seriously, run! Run! And that is the last green star we need. And you'll see this. This is actually a constant little spot here. Let me go ahead and just, look at all these coins you could get. You could get all the coins in the world. All of them. Coins! Coins for everybody! Watch as I get as many coins as physically possible. Just need one more one-up. Just need one more one-up. One more one-up. Time's ticking. Time is ticking. Alright, there we go. And, there we go. 4 seconds to spare. Got all the stamps and the stars. So there you go. And that's Peach. She's, of course, the slowest character in the game, but she has the float ability. So that's nice. She jumps a little bit more than Toad in terms of height, but a little less than Mario. But, of course, like I said, she has that hover thing, so that pretty much makes up for the lack of jump entirely. And the lack of speed. So there's that. But now we're going to, of course, switch back to Toad now that we got our character stamp. And there we go. Hey, look at these Magic Koopas. You die. You die. And you die. I didn't feel like jumping on you guys. That was like what? How many seconds was that? That was 11 seconds. Well, technically that was less than 11 seconds because that timer... I'm not even sure how that timer's even calculated. It's like less than a second, but it's not a tenth of a second. I'm not really sure how the timer's actually rated in terms of speed. But, whatever. I suppose it really doesn't matter whatsoever. Or maybe it does. Maybe it matters to all of you and you guys feel offended that I don't find it matters. That'd be really weird. Anyway, Pipeline Lagoon. Let's begin. Aw, look at these sleeping little Goombas here. Don't bother them. They're just minding their own business. All their bees knees. Anyway, they really don't do anything. They have no harm to you, so there's no point to kill them. They're just chilling. Just chilling in the sun. How can you, you know, be mean to them? Because I'm Toad! Nah, I'm not gonna hurt them. I'll just kind of razzle them up a bit. If you go up here, though, there's still nothing whatsoever. But, at least now you know you can go up here. If you ground pound here, though, you'll get 6 coins to appear. Woo! I think there's actually one up. I think there's actually a mushroom in that tree. So that's neat for stockpiling purposes, I guess. Now, as you can tell, when you're underwater, you swim like you would in the 2D games. Not too fond of that, but hey, whatevs. Definitely prefer the way you actually swim in Galaxy. See, when I keep on trying to, no, I don't want to get rid of you guys. Of course, you can also use fireballs underwater, so that's nice. I keep trying to ground pound it, like, and I'm wondering, like, why can't I? Oh, right, I can't do it that way. Now, this pipe here essentially just brings you around this way. Not really all too much benefit. However, if you go down this pipe, still not much benefit. But now we know. Hooray! Can I kill you? Can I kill you? Yes, that was horrible hit detection, but it still hit you, so I'm not complaining. Up here's a nice little green star for us, however you have to wait for the water to rise. I did, but I still managed to mess it up somehow, because I fail. There we go. You can wall kick all you want up those walls, there's nothing up there. So don't bother. It's really not worth your time or effort. Was a cool little scenery. I wonder if we'll ever see that again. Spoiler, I don't think you will. But it's still neat. Look, we're swimming underwater again. Now, you want to get this little block right here. Whoops, not that one. That's the one I was looking for either. Where's the one I'm looking for? Where is that mysterious block of justice and wonder and mystery? Somewhere around here, I'm certain almost. Yeah, that's about as much logic as I could use. Now you'll see this spot here, if you actually wall kick here. This is what I was looking for here. You get that stamp, and ooh, what's this? Oh, just that. Meh. Let's go ahead and charge up this puppy. And you'll see a crack in the wall. So let's go in that crack, which you need this to actually break it open with. So that's you actually need to find that secret path upwards for the wall kick, and then you actually need to carry this to the end to actually blast the wall. And of course, there's a cool little timer for us for 100 spice if you're running out of time. But you just got all your time back, so that's brilliant. You also got tons of coins. Now you want to kill these guys. Kill all of them. However, you want to focus on this one in particular, because if you go up this particular one, instead of going to that pipe, you will launch yourself up here. And, of course, if you keep on jumping up here, you'll see that last star right there. So now I have all the stars, and we have all the stamp. Well, we have the one stamp. I guess that would be all the stamps. One is all, indeed. So, but all we need now is the golden flag, but it's not really much hard to get. Can I get up there, please? There we go. Aha! You think you're all clever in that spot. I killed you, so now you're not so clever. You're not so tough! Now if you go up here, of course there's those, but if you jump up here, can I guess I can't get rid of it. Unless... how do I climb the walls with this thing? That is very, very interesting. Either way, you're gonna run and jump. You have to find that secret path near the end to actually get the... Unless you have a cat, you can't climb the flagpole once you find the secret exit. Because otherwise you're gonna take a floor out of the bottom and then you'll be stuck there. So there's that. Cheap, cheap. And now we have cleared that level. But you'll notice it brings up a cool little pipe and a cool little area over there. But first, let's go in this pipe and see where it takes us. Mount Moustache. This place is pretty cool. But where does this take me? You'll notice sometimes little blocks of, like a little block that you can actually somehow adjust or press A next to, and you could actually open up secret paths in the world that way. This is the only place in the world, in this world, you can actually do that. But you get a nice little outlook of the world, so you can actually see everything. But either way, let's go back to Mount Moustache and actually do this level, which is actually very fun. One of my favorite levels in the game. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but it's definitely it's definitely a very fun level. By the way, if you want to know where you can actually find, you actually need Cat Mario for or the Cat Power Up for actually one of the abilities and for actually one of the stars in the game. So if you're wondering when you go near the end of stuff like, wait a minute, I never got a Cat Power Up suit in this level. Well, there it is. There's a Cat Power Up. But we don't necessarily need that. I mean, I suppose it could be useful for me to actually have a spare in case I lose mine for whatever reason, which I probably will, thinking about it. But I'm going to be going down here instead. Whatever. Ruining the speed! Gotta go fast! Gotta keep moving! Hey, you know what? That fight with Bowser we originally had at the very beginning? Wouldn't that have been a lot better if it actually had boost pads? Yeah. You know, if you're gonna make it feel like a Sonic game, which they're clearly trying to take notes from, with clearly in later in the game, then maybe it might be useful to actually, you know, have the main reasons why some of those bosses from the Sega games worked. Anyway, get back here, you stupid bunny! I'll get you, you wascally wabbit! Dang it! Dang it! Flippin'! Whatever. I'll be back for it. No! And jump. Slide and jump. Jump! Almost fell off the edge. Either way, this is what I'm talking about here. There's actually a little star up here you can be Cat Mario for. Cat suit. Cat power up. Either way. Finally, boost pads! Boost pads! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Woo! That was fun. Yay! That was a very amusing level. Okay, I'm sorry. You're probably just waiting for me to make that pun throughout this entire game, more than likely. Well, I made it, so there you go. Take that. Now I gotta go back for the mystery box level and try to catch that stupid rabbit again. Whatever. That's what I thought, you jerk. Yeah, no. There we go. I was almost afraid of actually misgrabbing the star in that time. Anyway, meet you back at the pole. Yeah! Woo! Alright, so we got that one star that was annoying us. And with that, I think we're at enough time to actually cut it off too. So next time, Super Mario 3D World will actually be finishing up World 3 and tackling the boss. So, I will see you guys then.